Welcome everybody. In this video, we're gonna go ahead and create a virtual network using Azure. This is again a continuation of the AZ-900 demos, and this is video number 4 or lab number 4. If you haven't watched the previous 3 ones, I highly recommend you do so you can catch up and stay in tune with what's going on. So now we're gonna go ahead and create a brand new virtual network. We're gonna need to go to the menu on the left hand side over here, and then under this menu, drop down menu, you're gonna go ahead and click on all services, and then we are going to be clicking on or searching for virtual network over here. So we're gonna search for virtual network. So we're gonna click on virtual network. So under virtual network, we don't have anything, as you can see. We're gonna go ahead and click create. Again, Azure, we do have to provide basic information. This is just where we have to supply our subscription and our resource group. I'm gonna choose our existing resource group. I'm just gonna name this one I teach -vnet. That's what I'm gonna name it. You can name this whatever you want to. It doesn't matter as long as it makes sense for you. So now I'm gonna hit next on the IP addresses. I'm actually not gonna supply any IP addresses. I'm gonna use the default one that's provided for us on the security tab. I am not gonna do anything here. I'm gonna keep this as basic as possible. As we get deeper into the demos, advanced stuff, we're gonna do this. But right now, to keep it simple, I'm not doing anything. Tags, again, we're gonna leave it alone. And then we're gonna do review. Here's our review. It passed the validation. It gave us a /16 subnet. So over here you can see we got our subscription resource group, and then the name of our VNet virtual network, and then it gives us a /16 space, and then that's our default subnet mask. And I didn't apply any tagging. I didn't do any bashing or anything specific, so I just kept it as simple as possible. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit create. I'm going to click create here. All right, so now we can click on, instead of we can click on go to resources just to see our virtual network. You can see I have everything deployed, and now we have to go ahead and create a virtual machine that can connect to this virtual network. So that's what we're gonna do. And then if we wanted to, we can supply address spaces, put in different IPs, connect to, we can see connected devices, we can see subnets, we can do a different subnets, we can do bashing, DDoS protection, firewall, defender for cloud. We can do so much. Right now I don't have any of that subscription, so I won't be able to take advantage of it. In fact, I'm gonna go back to that, and then we can do network manager, DNS server, peering, VNet peering, service endpoint, private endpoint properties. We can do resource locks, we can do alerts, metrics, so many things we can do. But now let's go ahead and actually go back to all services again, and then we're gonna go ahead under all services. We're gonna click on virtual machine. We're gonna go ahead and create a brand new virtual machine, Azure virtual machine. If you haven't, I'm not gonna go through all the steps here because we already done this on the lab 1. So if you want to deeper dive into this, please do reference our lab 1. But now let's go ahead and actually create a virtual machine, Azure virtual machine. And then under Azure virtual machine, we're gonna go ahead choose our existing resource group, which is AZ-900, AZ-900 demo labs, and then we're gonna name this virtual machine I teach VM1. Okay, we're gonna keep on the East US region. We're not gonna apply any availability zone. Security type we're gonna keep as standard, and this is going to be Windows Server 2022. That's gonna be what the machine running on. Let me make sure it's selected. and then so yeah, so you can see the image type is going to be Windows Server 2022, and then we're gonna keep it, it's gonna be 64-bit architecture. You can change that. And the size, I'm not gonna go into depth again, just keep it at the B2MS, which is fine. The username for me is gonna be AZ-900. Keep it simple. Password for me to know. All right, and then we're gonna keep that port, RDP port, open for now. Allow that by default for us. Even though it's unsecure, we are fine. We're gonna hit next. We're not gonna change anything in the disk. On the network part, you can see you went ahead and connected to our virtual network, which is iTeach VNet. And so that's what we wanted. And then I'm gonna hit next. On the management tab, we're not gonna do anything here again, because again, we're not interested in doing anything specific yet. We're just trying to get through the demo. So hit next, next, on the advanced again, next, and then hit click review and create. We are going to go ahead and just review what we got, our username, everything else, like what what network is in. So this is ultimately what we want to get at. So this machine networking information is going to be connecting to our VNet. It's going to be using that subnet, and it's going to have that. So everything is what we wanted over there. So we're going to now hit create. Okay, now immediately while this is being created, we're going to go back and create another virtual machine again. We're doing the same thing we did earlier. We need to have two machines to test this thoroughly. So we're gonna go ahead, choose our resource group again, and I'm gonna call this one iTeach VM2, and then I'm gonna keep it in the East US region, and then I'm not gonna apply. I'm actually gonna keep and name it iTeach VM2. I'm gonna keep it in the East US region. I'm not gonna apply any infrastructure redundancy or availability options. I'm gonna keep it standard option as far as security goes. It's gonna be again Windows Server 2022. It's a little glitchy when I select it, so let me select 2019 and then select 2022. And then on the architecture is the same again, and then the username, and then for password for me to know again it's gonna have RDP allowed. Next on the disk space, next on the disk. We're not changing anything on the disk, so we're gonna hit next. The networking, we're gonna again verify that it is indeed connecting to our virtual network. It's have our iTeach VNet is connecting to iTeach VNet, which we created recently, and it's have the proper subnet, and then that's gonna be how the public IP will be, and that's fine. And then I'm gonna go ahead and then hit next on the management, next on the events, next on tag, and then we're gonna do review and create. Again, we're gonna verify that our networking is set to correctly, which is set to our correct virtual network, and our correct IP and subnetting, which is fine. I'm gonna hit create. Okay, perfect. Now our second VM was created successfully as well. Now we're gonna do some testing to make sure this two VM can communicate with each other, and then go from there. So we're gonna go to resources. Actually, let's go to resource group. So we're gonna click on all services, click on resource group, and then click on our resource group, which is AZ-900 demo labs. And here we have VM1 and then VM2. So let's click on VM1 first. We're gonna connect to VM1. We're gonna use RDP since we allow that unsecure port already. We're gonna download the RDP file. We're gonna hit open, and we're gonna hit connect. We're gonna hit open. That's what it's looking like. Once we hit open, we're gonna hit connect. Here it's providing us it's telling us to put in our username and password. So we're gonna do AZ-900, and then put in our password that we made earlier. We're gonna hit connect. So now it's giving us the certificate warning, which is fine. We're gonna hit yes for that. It went to my other screen over here, but that's what it looks like. So this server is being prepared for us now. Once it is come up all the way, which is about almost done, we are going to check the name, and then we will open the next server as well. That's fine on the network. We're gonna go open the command prompt by typing cmd here. We're gonna type in command prompt by typing cmd. Hit open. Do host name to verify that this is indeed the new machine we created. As you can see, is iTeach VM1, and we're gonna now leave this one, stay connected, and go back to our resource group again. Connect to VM number 2, iTeach v-vm2, and then hit connect. Hit RDP, download RDP file again, open. We're gonna go ahead and drag this screen over here. We're gonna hit connect, and then we're gonna go ahead and move this back again, put in our credential, and then we're gonna go ahead and actually hit yes for the certificate warning, and you can see it's connecting. It's also again decided to move to another screen, so it's logging us in again. So we're almost about done now. Once this is done logging us in, we're gonna test the connection to each of the two machines, since they're both in the same virtual network, and we should be able to succeed on the test. In fact, since that machine is coming up, let me come back to the main machine, and I'm gonna do ping iTeach dash VM2. Okay, it's not working. Why is it not working? Because I made one grave mistake, or I didn't do this yet. We need to turn off firewall for the ping to work. For IMCP ports are by default blocked by the firewall, so we're gonna turn off the firewall. So we're gonna turn off the firewall by going to settings over here, and then we're gonna click on network and internet, and then we are going to focus on Windows firewall, and then we're gonna make sure the domain and the public firewall is off before we do this. So we're gonna go ahead and actually hit off. Let me zoom out of here to make it easier, and then we're gonna come back, and then we're gonna turn off the domain, and then it's off. All right, so now we are also gonna do the same thing on this machine as well. So we're gonna click on settings again, and then from the settings we're gonna come over here in network and internet. We're gonna click on firewall. We're gonna turn off public and domain firewall. We're also gonna turn off the private firewall. So our firewall is off. Our firewall is off now. So you can see all the three firewalls off. Now I can come back over here. I can ping iTeach VM1 from here, and I can ping iTeach VM1. I can ping iTeach VM1 from VM2. So let's do that actually. Ping iTeach VM1. So you can see my ping is successful. I'm able to ping my VM1 from my VM2. And this is my VM2, just to make sure that you get this. This is my VM2, and I'm able to ping my VM1 from here. Let's do the same thing on my VM1, and we're going to try to ping VM2. So we're going to come back in here. We're going to clear, and let's do ping iTeach dash VM2, and I'm going to zoom in for you. So we're going to do this, and now you can see we are able to ping just fine. We're able to ping just fine, and that's ultimately the test. And let me also do host name for you. just to make sure that you guys get this. So we are able to ping from VM1, we can ping VM2 just no problem. So yeah, that's the end of the demo. So in summary, we were able to go ahead and create a brand new virtual network. We called it iTeach VNet. After that, we created 2 virtual machines, and we make sure the 2 machines are placed inside of iTeach virtual network. After that, we connected to both machines using RDP, and we were able to turn off the firewall that prevent us from pinging IMCP ports. And after that, we went ahead ping VM2 from we went after that we went ahead ping VM2 from VM1 and ping VM1 from VM2. And after that, we were able to conclude the demo. And please stay tuned for demo number 5 and so forth. If you haven't already, please support us by subscribing, liking the video,